Alright, trading recap for the 9th of November, 2 and a bit our day. I was closer up to 3R, but then I took some stupid trades on Real and blew it. First I traded Riot. I was looking at also at Mara on the daily, and Mara was gapping way up. And so I didn't want to trade Mara because it was right into resistance. But Riot was above this resistance and above this resistance. Looked like it had more room. So I took it. I took it long on a 1 minute break out. Basically, call it a 1 minute ORB, I guess. First partial was pre-market high. And then it came down, and it just really didn't want to go any lower, and I recognized that, and I tried to get 2R partial, but by the time I hit the hotkey, it was like 1.5R, and that was only like 20% and 20% of my position, and this was the majority, and I was waiting for this level up here, which is R4, which I got, but DAS won't show. And yeah, it was basically a 3R trade, even though this is 5R right here. So then I traded Real because it has never gapped up before. Not that I could find anywhere in its history has it ever gapped up. It always trends up, and I thought, wow, this thing's on a gap up. It gaps down, but I'm like, well, it's gapping up, and it's opening above support or resistance, whatever you want to call it, and there was this massive liquidity zone up here from somewhere, I don't know where, and I thought that, yeah, it had a chance to do it. So once it did this nastiness, I thought it had a decent chance to kind of a really ugly, and it's, I don't know if I should label it a FOMO, but it wasn't, because I've been staring at it, and I like a 3-minute 3-part play, even though it definitely isn't, and I thought above this congestion area in here, this close, this open, this close, this open, and I'm like, okay, I'll take a long above this, and it got above, and the trend line break, so and it kept holding R4, so I was looking for an R4 breakout, it kept holding this. So I got in long, it looked good for a bit, but you could tell they were slamming it, like you could just tell. So my stop loss was down here, under pre-market high, and so I stopped out when I saw that they weren't letting it through, and they came down and they wicked it, and they stopped some people out, and then I thought, okay, now it's gonna go, so I got in, and then I immediately realized what was happening. These were only half-size trades because I didn't have that much faith in it, because it already had done ATR, but I knew it could do a lot more than ATR. It could do 6 times the normal ATR on a day it had Catalyst, and it hadn't gapped up before, so I thought it could definitely get some legs. So I was thinking this thing was for sure, like, I thought it was looking really good. And so, of course, top ticked. I was gonna wait for like 1675. If I wouldn't have taken that loss, but whatever, it wasn't even a full R loss, it was half an R or something, and I just started stopping out because I just realized it was over. And then this here is to signify in red, this is where I think it's actually a short, because this was a very low volume retest, and like short here, stop loss up here, and sure enough, this is what the trade I should have taken, but hindsight. Delete this. So Real, Riot, AMRS I was looking at. I always put my, like, the ATR into the screen for myself to signify that it's really done ATR, and to be careful and usually not to take, so gap down on earnings. 20%, I believe. So I was actually looking for this thing to gap fill up to 12, but it had no love, so that's that. Roblox is pretty in action today on earnings. This thing was looking good actually to move up, but the way it edged higher, I just said nah, like it's into resistance. I was looking at taking it long here, and I just said no, it's into too much resistance. I'm not gonna take it, and it was already also done its ATR right there. And then this thing kind of looked like, it looked kind of, like it went parabolic, and like I wanted to 2-minute 3-bar play long, and it screwed around this liquidity zone and edged higher, and I said, yeah, there's not a chance. So I put this here, and I said, this thing looks like a short, sure enough. Laser gapped up on some sort of catalyst, gapped right into resistance, and just sold right off right in the morning. Right to the daily 200. Now it's screwing at the daily 200. Trying to mean revert. Arrival. This thing banged heads here yesterday and was down 20%. In this one, I was also looking at a possible reclaim up to 16-ish, but yeah, no love. GE, I think it's like 70% institutional or something. Anyway, it was way above any form of a logical move for it. This is the all-time high here on it, and it double topped kind of pre-market, and I just said, nah, like, don't take this thing. Like, I just kind of had it to look at. Like, it's so ugly. There's no reason to trade GE. LDR, Velodyne. It was actually looking good. It based and based and based, and started gaining momentum the last couple of days. And I was looking at it long into 8:30, and then eventually up into 10 bucks where there's volume up there. But no, this just looks like a piece of crap that they're selling right into. EVGO. This thing, I was hoping this could be the igniting move here yesterday. Had a big trend line that it broke. Has a lot of energy pent up, and I thought, yeah, like there's a chance that this was the igniting move, and now this thing rips, but no, it sold off right away. So that's the trading day, I guess. Slower 2R, and now I'm officially cancelled out last week's losses, and I'm up 2R this week, so I wasn't going to screw around half an hour into the day and lose even more, so whatever, I'll take it.